The Ring Fanatics Podcast, episode number 89. Nick, your host here with me as always, my co-host Joelle.
Yo,
Gina was not able to make it on this week. She will be back next week with us. But we're back here. It's been a while. It's been a while since we did the last episode.
yeah,
Um, we didn't do one last week. There's a lot of shit we gotta talk about.
a lot of
Um,
shit went down. A lot of shit went
yeah,
down.
since the last episode the last episode we did was all out predictions. Now we're talking about something that happened post all out.
Yeah.
That had people. I know it's very late, but we're gonna talk about it
Oh,
anyways.
we're still
Because
gonna talk about because we have our
yeah,
opinions on it.
yeah, of course.
Um, but yeah, kick it off. Kick it off.
So CM Punk um got into a little bit of a rant following post All Out during the media conference that went down.
Yep.
Then went towards the backstage um fight and scruffle with the elite, and then a few backstage people that work behind the scenes, leading to all of them not just vacanting their championships, but also being suspended for a bit. Um, yeah, so that all went down the night of All Out, right after All Out. And yeah, there's a lot to say. A lot have come out since. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff have been, of what happened, what started the fight, and everything.
So everybody probably knows what
Yeah,
people probably know the info. What is
yeah. I
your
mean, I
take
don't
on
have
it?
to go on
I've been
further
wanting to
into it.
know what's your take on it because we haven't spoke about it.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it since. We
No,
haven't said anything wrestling related since.
no.
Um, so my thoughts about it. It's just I don't know what CM Punk was thinking. I've tried watching the press conference and what led to that. I'm not sure what the question was, if it was a question, or maybe saw. I think from what I heard, he saw somebody that apparently knew both, like, both him and Colt Cabana. That's
Okay,
what started the whole tangent part of it.
got
But
you.
then I think it was when he went towards the EVP part that kind of got the Young Bucks and Omega mad,
Yeah.
and then led to the whole scruffle.
Mm-hmm.
If that was the case, that kind of went like that was kind of too far. That was not too far. That was unnecessary. I would say for Punk to do.
Yeah.
It was not necessary for him to just randomly go off on everybody like that on something that wasn't even brought up.
Exactly.
Like I
Yeah.
said, there wasn't even I don't know what the question was. I don't even know if it was a question. I couldn't find
Yeah,
that
to
part.
be honest, I couldn't tell you because I wasn't watching that media scrum. I just
Yeah,
watched
I
the
didn't I
clip.
didn't know about it. I don't
I
usually watch those, but I saw
Yeah,
it
because
buzzing
it's
on social
like
media.
I'm like it's always them just trying to I feel get some press out there and try and like have somebody say something slick or some shit like that. This one just went a little overboard.
Very
This
overboard.
one went a little overboard. Um, but but I think we gotta see the common denominator here. I see a lot of people blaming Punk for this. Punk needs to go. Punk is the problem. I think there's a common denominator on like
I
everybody
think
has problems with.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like EVPs shouldn't be talking about people that they have signed, people that they're working
exactly.
with. So wrong on both ends.
Yeah,
But you knew this about Punk when you signed him. You knew he was an asshole. You know what
yeah,
I mean? So for you to say something and not think he's gonna say something back, stupid of you,
yeah.
right? So I kind of blame both parties, but I blame the Bucks more than I blame Punk.
Yeah, I
I
would agree with
blame,
that. I mean,
and then also you see, like I said, the common denominator. Where's Cody?
not yeah, yeah, not with him
It's got to
anymore.
be a reason, but he's not the type of guy to tell you a reason. He's not
And
that type of person.
yeah,
We might get it down the line in a book or in a doc or something.
yeah,
Uh, People think it's Tony Khan. I don't think so. I think there's a
yeah.
common denominator that is causing problems. And I think it's the elite.
I mean,
Because even like it go ahead.
because I was gonna say like I saw this on social media like I think it was earlier this week or last week where I personally think that, and someone made a good point about it. It was like if they're gonna be EVPs, why are they still wrestling? Like,
Yeah,
if it's either you focus on the EVP part of it, or you're still gonna be wrestling full time. Imagine if Triple H was wrestling full time still and being head of creative. Like, you are talent, you are wrestling. Yes, you're part of the main roster, but you're also working shit behind the scenes. You got responsibilities back there. You got shit to take care
exactly.
of, whether you're in the talent and you're in the ring every week or not. You have responsibilities backstage, whether it's taking care of your talent, booking people the right way, taking care of other responsibilities that you may have. You're still an EVP at the end of the day, whether you're still wrestling or not.
Yeah,
You're an EVP. That was the position they walked into AEW as,
it's your
and what
fucking
should
job.
be, yeah, that
Yeah,
should be your fucking job.
yeah,
And agree with you, kind of what you said before. It's like they're the EVPs. They knew what they were getting themselves into. It's either you do both or just stick to one, which I think they should just stick to one. They
yeah,
should have waited till at least after, you know, they finish their career, then focus more on that aspect. But if you're
yeah.
gonna be a wrestler,
Exactly.
be a fucking wrestler if you want to. Like
And
I
you can't be an EVP, and after you have a match on a pay per view, scream into the camera, follow that up. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, bro,
because
come on.
like I said, like if you're comparing it to WWE, imagine if Triple H was still wrestling full time. Imagine how like if he just randomly got is he like I say is he a wrestler or is he a creative? You
Yeah,
have the
like book
one
yourself to win
responsibility.
titles.
Yeah, it's one responsibility that's more important than the other. In this case, for them, the EVP position, a top position in the company, should be,
More
if you're gonna
important.
more important. Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
important than you being in the
you
ring
already
and
have your
you.
legacy. You already got it.
Yeah,
You already got it. If you want to keep wrestling, but then don't have the EVP position.
exactly.
And then there was the report of them sending feelers out or whatever. And I was like,
The
bro,
fillers,
like,
yeah.
listen, if
That I
you're
think that
causing
was false,
problems,
but
if you want to like cause problems over here, and one of the people that left has a problem with you, and they're trying to push him to the moon, you don't think they're gonna ask him first? You think about us signing this person or this person? You don't
yeah,
think Kobe be like, don't fucking do it? You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, especially if that was the call. Now it's different. There's a different story, but the way it's going, it just looks like it's the Bucks, man.
yeah,
What happens is which they have a reason to be, but they're too like, what's the word that I'm trying to say? They're too full of themselves.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, don't even try to critique them because it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? Like they won't from like the older guys. They would never take advice if, let's say, a I think of a random ass tag team. The Dudley Boys were like, "Yo, I had a match with them," and they were like, "Oh yeah, maybe you should stop doing it." You think they're gonna listen? No, no
no,
shot.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So they're those type of people. At least it seems like they have that type of personality. Meeting fans is one thing because people are always saying, "Yo, they're the coolest people we ever met." Da 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 da. That's true because I met them. But again, you're buying merch. You're helping them. You're paying them. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If they're not nice to you, they're just a dickhead, as in someone I have beef with. But that's another story. But the Young Bucks, I think, is the problem in AEW. Them feeling senders out, I think, doesn't hurt AEW. I don't think them leaving would hurt. I think Cody hurt more than the Bucks leaving.
yeah. Because like I said before, let's say if like randomly one day they just stopped wrestling, but still working backstage with them. It's just imagine that. Like eventually they're gonna stop wrestling, and they're gonna eventually find their way back to the backstage full time, and then working that from there on. That's eventually gonna happen, whether people want it to happen or not.
Yeah,
But again, that's like I said, that's their responsibility. That's their main titles. Like they're known as the EVPs. They can't just like keep running over to Tony Khan every single time and be like, "Hey, can you resolve this for me?" Like, no, you're the EVP
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
You got to be
You know what though?
responsible.
I give a lot of fucking credit to Tony. I give a lot of credit. He said, "You know what? I'm stripping everybody
Yeah,
like he was a
yeah.
fucking parrot. You know what? No one gets to play."
No, because that I when he announced that last week on Dynamite,
I was like, That's the right move.
yeah, it was the
That's
right
the
move.
right
Definitely
move.
was the right move. He saw it in his face that like it
That's
was
the right
definitely
move.
a tough. It was definitely a tough decision to do, but he had to do it, and it was the right move.
Yeah, most definitely. And now you're building up to a great match next week at Grand Slam.
Yeah,
Your belt is on somebody that actually deserves it.
yeah,
Would have been dope to be House of Black, but that's a whole situation. But yeah, it all worked out, I think. Right now
yeah.
it's working out.
And there's a better story. Like I would prefer Mox versus MJF over Mox and CM Punk. You know,
Yeah, I was really hoping to get a Sammy versus Brian or Sammy versus Jericho.
oh
Because
yeah,
I thought Sammy versus Jericho and you do like finger poke of doom shit and have just give the belt to Jericho. Because
like
having
have Sammy just help
just
Jericho win.
yeah, just finger poke like the Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan, where Hogan just hit him on the chest like that, and he dropped down one,
Yeah,
two, three, and Hogan won the title. I thought that would have been a cool thing, especially having the storyline that you could do with MJF and Jericho. Done it already. He was in the crew. You know what I mean? Like I think
yeah.
if anybody's the person to hand not even hand the belt, but like put over MJF
It'd be Jericho.
as a champion, it would be Jericho. It has a
Yeah,
better story.
and
Yeah, he's with Mox. Yeah, he's running with Daniel, but it's different with Jericho. That's why I thought we were gonna get Jericho.
I think that like this whole apparently this match between MJF and Moxley is supposed to take place at Full Gear. I think that's way too
Okay,
soon in my opinion.
you
Way
think
too
so?
soon. Cause I don't like I want MJF as champion and most
There's no
likely
other pay per view. The next pay per view is February.
they could do it at fucking winter is coming. That's
Nah,
right at the end of the
they don't want that on free TV.
it's
They're not trying to give that on
it's
free
not
TV.
it wouldn't no one will expect it to happen. You know what I mean? It's not like
I
it's
guess so, but I guess so.
the last time it was
Um,
changed it changed hand on TV was Moxley when he beat Punk for it. But again, no one that was either way we're getting a new
that was
champion.
like the
Yeah, they were
unifying
unifying it.
match.
But like if it went from, one champion to the other, no one was expecting it. You know what I mean?
That is true. Wait, did they announce it as at Full Gear?
It most they didn't announce it, but it most likely is gonna happen at Full Gear. That's like 95% chance that it's happening then.
I was hoping when they
You,
like
you know
after the Moxley match, they were like, "Oh, MJF is backstage and he wants a mic." I thought either he was gonna throw himself in like a triple threat, or
I was
so
gonna
that
say sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so that Mox good and have him pin Jericho, or have him do like I want the winner right after.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think he might just like do something where before the match next week happens at Grand Slam, he comes out and be like, "Hey, I spoke to Tony. I'm in the match now." So that
Yeah,
way he's in the triple threat. He makes it a triple threat, and it goes from there. And then he uses that Stokely Hathaway's crew to kind of force Tony or probably help him win.
yeah.
And
Why
then
not?
yeah, because it may help to win the poker chip.
Yeah,
So it makes sense if you help him win the title by having a crew. It's five
I
on
like
two
how
basically.
and I like how they introduced him too. Like he was
Yeah,
like,
I had
"We're
a thing. I had a
we're
thing
like
on that.
what? What do you think?"
It seems like obviously yeah they're associating with MJF. I think last night they said that like
But then
they're gonna they're not like
action
yeah they're not gonna be like with him every single time. They're
yeah,
gonna be associated with him but not with him every single week.
when he needs help.
Yeah, when he needs help.
And they also said the whole crew might not be all together.
Yeah.
But I do think Hathaway is going to be a manager for all of them.
Oh yeah, separately like a Paul Heyman guy. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like I think that like so it was unexpected because when this whole process of seeing Stokely Hathaway prior to All Out with giving every single one of these people a business card and whatnot, it would have been cool. I texted you that night on All Out. It's like it would have been cool if
Yeah.
like MJF was the leader of this group and not it would be MJF's crew and not Stokely Hathaway's crew.
Yeah.
That would have been different. Seeing them every week with MJF, that would have been dope. But it would have been cool if, like, you know, the like, typically in, let's say, in life, like outside of wrestling, non-wrestling, when someone gives you a business card, what does a business card entail? Really, it really includes the
Contact
name.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, like their name, where they work, position, title, email,
Hmm.
phone number, and whatnot. Best way to contact them. What if, like, this was not that type of business card? What if, like, on the business card it didn't say any of that? It just said, like, oh, like on the business card, Hathaway gave it to them and be like, and on the business card it said, like, oh, MJF needs your help. He will guarantee you something afterwards. Some shit like that
True.
along those
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
And then that's why they agreed to go with him. Because why else would they just give him a business card and not say anything? Like Ethan Page when he joined, no hesitation, just went with him.
Yeah.
Same with the Gun Club. They just got the business card, saw it, they went with him.
And left. Yeah.
Why? Why would you just look at a business card with their name? We know who that is already.
Because of
I
his
don't need your
connections, baby. You
exactly.
wish you have friends like me.
So that's why I thought, like, on the business card, it didn't say exactly Ahsoka Hathaway's name or number. It just said
Yeah.
help MJF this Sunday.
And you got help after.
Exactly. And that's
I
why
do
they
like
decided to
also.
go with him.
Yeah, I also do like how they introduced what all of them want.
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. Like the only one that they didn't talk about was Cass, but I think
Yeah.
more of
Because he just got there. He just
how
got here.
yeah, but I think him being the size he is will probably be with the TNT title. With the
Probably.
size of the Wardlows, the size of Hobbs. You know what I mean? He'll fit in there more than the
Yeah.
world title because MJF got the world title, and then
Yeah.
each of them are going after something different. Like they already put Lee, he wants to bring honor. You know
The
what I mean? So
pure,
he'll
yeah, the
probably
pure
go for the
championship.
pure, yeah. So I liked how they introduced everybody and what they're gonna. So we're leading kind of, but not giving you the full story.
And I like how they're doing Ethan Page with the All Atlantic instead of him doing the
I love
TNT.
it. Yeah.
Because it makes sense. Because, yeah, he's Canadian, but they're having a Canada show next month. So I think it'd be cool if, like,
Oh,
if he wins it in Canada.
that would be cool. That
That
would
would
be a
be,
dope.
yeah,
And
that would be awesome.
he kind of deserves it, man. He's been
He does.
fucking killing it.
He does. He
He's
fucking
been
does.
killing it ever since he came into AEW. And even when he was in Impact, he was killing shit. And that's why they wanted him. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it makes sense. I'm down with that. Let me ask you a question. Going back to All Out, what did you think of the reveal of MJF?
I thought it
I
was
saw
cool.
I heard a lot of people critiquing it. What did you think?
I thought it was okay. Here's the thing. I thought it was awesome. I mean, yes, a lot of people kind of expected it to happen. Expected it to be MJF. That was like the
Yeah.
only person people were talking about. I get it. So did I. But the thing is, I thought it was cool because I don't, like I said before, I did not expect Stokely Hathaway's group
Mhm.
to be the ones to help him out.
So
The
it was
associated.
random unless you know like the background.
Yeah, I told you. I texted you. I was like, "Oh, it
Yeah.
makes sense because Stokely and MJF had the history together." But again, even before that, I didn't think it was gonna happen. I thought it was cool how they had the voicemail. The voicemail. Don't think it
I
was
thought
actual
that
real.
I think that shit was so sick. I
Yeah, it
think
was
I
cool.
I
It
think
was
the reveal was so dope and like so different that we've never
yeah.
seen something like that. That like you said, they played the voicemail, they
It was
showed
it
the
was cool.
video. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
everything and the moment with the scar, and the place popped. You know what I mean? It was dope as
that was
hell.
good. That
I,
was
I
good.
saw a lot of people critiquing it. I was like, why? I think this shit was so sick.
Just a few things on that. One, it's very it's not like it's for me personally. I don't want to say, "Oh, this was all the work," blah blah blah. Obviously, most of it was real. Him coming back, they definitely must have agreed on something backstage before this all happened. Maybe not. That's the thing. For me
I
personally, I
yeah,
don't know if it's gonna be a full time thing. It seems like it is because if that was a real voicemail, they wouldn't have fucking played that, right?
no,
They wouldn't have played an
that
actual private
yeah.
voicemail. But that's the whole voicemail. What Tony Khan said in this whole
It
situation is
gets the
like,
whole story of like even I saw a lot of like you know Tony Khan asked MJF to come back. No, he didn't. If you remember, if you think about it, we called this when it happened. The last person that ran MJF off was who, Nick?
Repeat the question. Sorry.
The last person to run MJF off after he his promo and like his pipe bomb in LA the week before nothing,
Was it
right?
CM Punk?
Yes. So why not when CM Punk comes back fully healthy and title under his belt because they had to unify it? Why wouldn't MJF be the person for him to come back against? It
Yeah.
was all. It was all the whole. The way I look at it, the whole lineup was going to be the summer of MJF versus Punk, and we weren't going to get the match until All Out. I think All Out was supposed to be MJF's like coming
Big
moment.
moment.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, getting the title, overcoming Punk. Because I think slowly throughout the summer, MJF was gonna turn into a tweener. Like, of course he is now, but his promos are full on heel. Is love him so much. But I think the goal was to make him a tweener that you either love him or you hate him, but actually have him as a good character and turn Punk fully heel so that by
Yeah.
the time All Out comes, you even though you don't want MJF as champion, you rather him than Punk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But we weren't to get that because he broke his foot that night in LA. No, back and watch the video. CM Punk runs out with on, and MJF escapes through the crowd because he was probably getting checked. But they still had to. They didn't know how bad the injury was.
Yeah.
So this whole thing of people saying, "Oh, he asked MJF back. They worked out a deal." I don't think so. I think this was the whole plan. Is MJF happy? He probably got a little. They probably did something under the table that said contract, and then we'll negotiate. Why? Like, why would he like
You're
and
cutting
fight
in
for the
and out. You're
champion?
very
I'm
lagging
cutting
in
in
and out.
and out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am
Hold
I
on.
good right now?
Let me. You're. It's gonna continue talking. Sorry. Go on. Go on.
You hear me now? Am I good now,
Yeah.
or
You're
am
fine.
I?
You're fine. But for a second, you were like kind of lagging a little bit. Yeah. Continue.
Okay.
Continue.
What was the last thing I said?
Was like he must have said Tony Khan must have said something under the table. That's what I heard
Oh
last.
yeah, that he must have did something under the table because um like a little raise and say, yo, when your contract is up, then we'll negotiate full contract, full perks and stuff. But here's a little something extra. And then he was like, okay, because why wouldn't he want to come back, win a championship, contract is up? Now, even if he wants to leave, he can negotiate with WWE and say, hey, listen, I'm a of your competitor.
Yeah.
I don't want NXT. I want this. I want that. I want all these perks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Leverage with WWE. If you just leave AEW and you're like, I want to come to WWE, they're gonna give you a shit deal. They'll make you think that it's good, but in the long run, it's not. But at least now that you came back, you had a championship. It looks like you're doing good business. You're on the good. You know what I mean? You look like a good employee, and make sign him when his contract's up for like in WWE's mind.
I think you're cutting off. You froze again. Hold on. You hear me?
You, yeah, you froze on me,
I
homie.
froze. Oh, we both froze. I guess. Okay. That was weird. That was weird. But yeah,
What the
I pretty
fuck?
much heard all of that. This is a weird stream. This is a weird recording right now.
So what the hell, man?
I have no idea. I have no idea what's happening right now.
Am I good right now?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I'm good right now. Okay,
Yeah.
cool,
Am
cool.
I good right now?
You're good right now. Yeah, we're chilling.
Okay. 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 That
Might
was
need to
weird.
cut
That was
all that out, but we'll see what happens.
yeah. We'll see what happens.
If there's a
Yeah, but
part missing, guys, listen. Technical difficulties, okay?
yeah. But yeah, I do think that would be a great if he walks out. Because for me, I just think that this whole storyline is leading up to okay, by December of 2023, we don't know what's happening with MJF, and that's what I like because we don't
Yeah,
know what's happening by December of 2023. He could
yeah.
stay. He could have. He might have signed an extension with AEW for all we know, but that's not public. No one knows about that. The only two
Nope.
people that know about that are MJF and Tony Khan, but no one else knows, and that's what I like about it because it's keeping us on our feet for this next year or so is
Yeah.
that we don't know if MJF is going to come back or not. He might go. But yeah,
So
like if he's
yeah.
getting this big push, most likely it seems that he's gonna stay, right? But again, we don't
So
know.
you're trying to get him to stay and like, yo, I'm trying to treat you well. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I'm trying to treat you well. But I think once he wins it, he's holding it.
for a
Like
while.
I think his storyline is gonna be like, I'm leaving with this title.
That's what I think too. If that's the case, I think that's might be it could, people might think that could be the main like reason like that he might have signed a extension, but we don't know. That's
Yeah,
the thing. I don't want to know if he signed an extension. That's what's making this whole storyline better. I don't want to know.
yeah,
That's the whole point. That's what I like about this. We
yeah.
don't know, and I don't
And
want to know.
we and it could even be on the side that understands that he wants to go with WWE and is like, yo, help me help you.
Yeah.
Help bring in business and I'll help you go to stardom. You know what I mean, like
Hmm.
I'll build you up crazy and you gotta lose the belt on the you. That's all I'm asking. But I'll build you up crazy. Have all the airtime you want. Like
Yeah.
giving him perks. But meantime, you're also helping AEW.
Exactly. Yeah. That could be it too. That could
Yeah.
be it too. I agree with
Because
that.
Tony's gotta know people are gonna come and go. You know what I mean? You can't keep everyone. Even though I'd love to, it's not gonna happen. It's just the
There's
way
so
it
many
works.
people you can please, and it's like you can't please everyone. You know what
To
I mean?
please everybody.
Yeah. So you
That's
could.
why I think he had to strip everybody because then it would be like he's playing favorites.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I like that bended all of them
Yeah.
because now you're showing the locker room you can't just come here and do whatever the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Exactly.
I give you leeway. I give you a voice. I let you be like help come up with your own ideas, but don't come in and disrespect the place.
Exactly.
Because overall, it's Tony's company. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like he had to put his foot down, and I respect that. I give it to him because he could have went the easy way and suspended just Punk or suspended just the Bucks. But he said, you know what? All of y'all and that was uh involved in it is clipped. Y'all
Yeah.
suspended, even though now by now I think the suspensions are lifted. But you got suspended, you got your belts taken.
That's what you get.
Exactly.
And he did the right thing. I agree with you. He did the
Yeah.
right thing. That was the right call to do. I
Yeah.
not mad at him with that. He's did what he had to do.
Yeah,
What
facts.
else was he gonna
Even
do? Just make him come back like nothing happened? Like that was a big deal. Everyone knew about it.
exactly. And then
Like
I saw who was it? Rosenberg was like, you know what Vince would have did. He would have made Rosenberg, go fuck yourself.
wait, what did he say? What did he say?
He said that that Vince McMahon would have made it an angle. He was like, you know what Vince McMahon would have done?
He would
Put
have
them
done
on
this.
TV and put them in a storyline. I'm like, yo, you know what? Just because you get paid by somebody, don't like you on top of them all the time. I
Yeah,
like it has nothing to do, but of course you gotta bring up.
exactly.
There's always that one person.
Exactly. There's
I
probably a whole
saw
bunch
that.
of
I was
fans too
just
that say
like,
the same thing.
I, I was like, you pissed me off, Rosenberg. Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah, you piss me off. Sometimes I like you. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Fuck this guy. You know what I mean? Like, come
Yeah,
on.
for real, for real. And that's what I don't like. This whole. Again, I'm gonna say this. And that's what the Bucks. I don't think the Bucks understand is that they don't. They're not just talent. They're the EVPs. But just because you're still wrestling doesn't mean you still. How do I say this? Like you still don't lose your power. You still have power in the company,
Yeah,
and
and you
you're
gotta
still in
show
charge of it.
respect to the rest of the roster.
Exactly. You can't
Like,
just like you
cause
can't do both.
the
You
whole
can't do both.
yeah, the whole thing started the week of Double or Nothing when Adam Page cut that promo on Punk.
Yeah.
That Page like went into business for himself. So Punk then months went by. The Bucks stood up for Page and was like, "Yeah, I agree with him." Da 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 da. That's why the whole point of that press conference that he was like, "We know you stick up for your boy. I stuck up for my boy for years." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't. I Punk cut that promo, pulling out Page, and then everybody got on Punk. You remember
Okay.
that?
Yeah, yeah.
That
When he said
he did the Snow Angels in the middle, and then Moxie came out.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I read. That's why that
Like
promo was
I
cut
didn't
because
like
of
I didn't
Paige's promo months ago. And then I'm just like, you know what? You guys gotta just get. You know what I mean? Like,
because
just
I knew that when he did that snow angel thing in the ring when he called out Heyman Page. I
yeah,
think following that they said the reason why, which is that promo that you're talking about before Double or Nothing.
yeah.
But I rewatched that promo and I was like, what was it that he said that was wrong? It's
Who
a promo.
Page?
Yeah. I was like, it's a promo. Like,
Yeah, but he was talking a lot of shit, and it wasn't cleared by Punk. It was just he freeball. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, usually in promos, I would think you like, if you go personal, you'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna touch on this. Give the person a heads up."
yeah, yeah,
I think just Page just went in and just did himself because I remember watching. I was like, "Oh, okay, now you got me excited for this match."
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, it hyped you up, but we didn't know that my son Page saying shit without Punk knowing he was gonna say it.
yeah.
But it's a whole this thing. Listen, if all of them, like, let's say Punk never comes back, because I thought he was retiring. We talked about this. I thought he was gonna leave. I was like, he's not coming back. He's getting older. I think he might be done.
You know what? I want to give you props on something too, completely off topic.
What's
But
up?
you did call last when we did the all out predictions. You did call MJF being the Joker, and
Yeah,
it could have been anybody.
yeah,
People, like I said, people knew that it was him, but when he came out with the mask and all. But you came out and said, beforehand and said he was the Joker, and no one's
yes, I
expecting,
did.
and you
Yes, I
did.
did.
You called that. It was
Because,
pretty sick.
I
I
come
gotta give
on,
you
bro.
props.
I
That
think
was that was on point. That was
I
on point. I'll give you.
I told you after the promo, I was like, yo, this is gonna lead to this, and then all I told you earlier were MJF and Punk throughout the summer, and then
Yeah,
Punk got injured, and it was just, and, and then I said, when Punk comes back, 100%, that's when we'll see MJF.
yeah. And you know what? Want to give us props too. Fucking Dominic finally turned his ass heel
Oh my God!
for
Thank
fucking once.
God. It only took us
Two
predicting it for
years.
2 years, two and a
Yeah,
half years
yeah.
probably.
And I
Like,
texted you this too. Like, imagine if we didn't say it this one time and he turned heel.
that would have been fucking jokes. So we were like, yo, it's not
yeah,
gonna happen this time.
yeah, it's not gonna happen for
And
sure.
we're just watching it. Can we also talk about how WWE took this man all the way to his home country to lose?
Yeah,
That was crazy. I actually thought McIntyre was gonna win.
I was
I
not expecting Solo Sikoa to make his debut that night, so that got me.
Yeah,
I was like, shit, damn it.
yeah. Which, and then someone forgot to say cut, and we saw
The
a
whole
whole,
Slim singing afterwards, I'm like,
and it was just weird.
yeah, I was like, what's gonna happen?
I
Is this
was
supposed to
watching
happen?
it.
I'm like,
I was like, this is very like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, like I was watching, and I'm like, when is it gonna play back?
Yeah, I
Is
was
it
like,
now?
is somebody coming out?
Yeah, Tyson Fury saying too. I'm like, is he? What is going on? This
You
is
don't,
weird.
yo, but you don't know how hype I got when Theory came out. I
Yeah,
thought, yo, I
when he
thought,
knocked him out, I
I was
popped,
like,
bro. I popped.
bro, if this happens right now, this is amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
they
was
ended
like,
up
oh,
not pulling the trigger.
I know they should. They fucking should have. I'm tight
They
that happened.
should have.
I
They would have stole the weekend. Fuck Punk and the Bucks.
yeah.
Everybody would have been talking about Theory cashing in.
You know what I feel bad about
What's up?
too is if I'm MJF, right? I'm putting myself in MJF shoes right now.
Yeah,
And everyone listening to this, try to put yourself in his shoes too, because like you spend all this time anticipating MJF's return. For
yeah,
weeks. Is he returning? Is he returning? Is this real or not? Blah blah blah. He comes back. People were talking about that before the CM Punk stuff.
yeah,
People were talking about that.
yeah. Because it was
Now
the
see,
biggest
yeah,
moment of the.
it
And
was. It
I
was.
still think it was, but that's coming
I
from someone that I could care the ring with people's lives. But it was interesting that all happened. Still think the MJF thing was bigger
yeah,
than,
it
but
yeah, it was a
I
bigger
know what you're
moment,
talking about.
but it was still less talked about than the CM Punk situation.
Yeah, because
Imagine
everybody
how
wants to talk
tight
about
he would
negatives. That's why.
Yeah, but imagine how
But
tight MJF must feel
yeah,
if you come back after so long to have that moment taken away from you by CM Punk.
Yeah,
Thank God he's off. Thank God they suspended him because now it's turned right back to MJF.
yeah,
Now
which is
it's
wonderful.
yeah. I'm glad they turned it around on that because I was about to say if people were still talking about that at the time of this recording, I would be tight if I'm MJF. Now I
Yeah,
want to fucking leave because of CM Punk being selfish. You know, because he knew what happened. Obviously, he could have talked about MJF for all we know. That's what he could have
yeah.
gone off on during the media conference. But then he went off of something else that was selfish about it. So I was putting myself in MJF's shoes. I would have been tight as fuck about MJF.
Nah, that's a fact.
I would have been tight as fuck.
That is a fact.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I just don't think that was right for CM Punk to do. I'm glad he's suspended. I hope he doesn't come back, in my opinion. And if he wants to treat
I
everyone like shit, go ahead, fucking be suspended forever. Then don't come back.
facts. Songs I really hope leaves the Bucks.
Yeah,
Me from a mark of the Bucks. I
yeah,
love the fucking Bucks. And you know what? If you're not gonna have a relationship with the boys backstage and you're just gonna be friends, you back, don't come back.
yeah.
Find new you know what? Nah, sign back. Take
Don't
away the
wrestle anymore.
EVP titles. Take
Yeah,
away the EVP titles and give it to actual that are gonna respect the talent, respect the workers, and
and
actually do good
and
for the
do that
company.
job well, and do that job well.
Yeah,
Not
yeah, fuck
just
it.
treat everyone well, do that job well, because that was what you were hired to do. Yes, you're wrestling still, but you also are EVPs and you have responsibilities there. So,
Yeah,
I went mute. I went mute. Hear me
you're
now?
good.
I went mute
Yeah,
for a
you're
sec. Sorry.
good.
Yeah, but if I were him, I would have been like, I'm tight. But yeah, I'm glad that if the Young Bucks still want to wrestle, it's either you choose wrestling or being EVPs full on now, not both. I think that should be,
Or
you
go to
know,
WWE,
wrestling should be like a
sign.
part-time thing where it's like you either choose to be a wrestler full time and focus on that, or focus on being an EVP backstage and developing the company that way. You can't have two separate mindsets and have two separate things to focus on.
Yeah, unless
You're
they learn to
hold on, are you
balance
mute?
both.
I don't hear you.
No, I'm good.
I don't
I
hear
hear
you.
you. You don't hear me.
Hold on.
You gotta do a lot of editing for this podcast, bud.
Now talk.
Yo,
Yeah, now I hear you. You good? Sorry.
okay. You gotta do a lot of editing for this one.
Yeah.
But I was saying, or they just learn how to balance both jobs. If you learn how to balance it, you keep it. But like I said, if you're not gonna respect the workers, the people that are working for your company, why have the job? You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just my opinion. Everybody has their own, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah. Me too. That is true. Other than that, another thing that happened this week in wrestling news. Oh, go ahead. Go
Uh
ahead.
huh. No, go. I was gonna say, are you talking about NXT right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
NXT right
talk
now.
about it because I'm gonna rant, but you could go first.
Okay. So if you didn't watch NXT, pretty sure a lot of people didn't watch NXT, but at the end, the very end, they showed a clip of them switching the logo. They took away 2.0. They took away the colors. It's now black and white. Now, um, and a little bit of black.
Hmm.
People are speculating that it's going back to black and gold. It's going back to how it was before 2.0. My thoughts on this are this. I don't know if I don't. It might be the same rant you're going on, but I don't.
Let's
It's because
see.
we never talked about this either until just
No, we
now.
haven't. We
Yeah,
haven't. We don't talk about shit because we want to
yeah,
leave it for the podcast.
exactly. But I think is this. I as much as I want the black and gold era to come back, I
It's
don't think it's
gone.
happening. It's not happening.
It's
It's not happening because
yeah.
it based on the logo itself, it doesn't look any different. Just you added pretty much just gold to it. You didn't. You can barely see the black. It's just the gold and the main font. It's white, and it's like you're pretty much just using the same. You're gonna be using the same people every week. It's the same storylines. Just you just
Yep.
updated the logo, and
Yep.
that's pretty much what it is. And People are gonna be like, oh my god, they're gonna bring back every single
Yeah.
person. No, it's not. No, they're not doing that. It's gonna be the same exact people. I actually watched the 1 year anniversary show. It gave all the
Did you?
same vibes. It does not sound like it's if they were changing it, they would have said it in the fucking beginning. They
Yeah.
were changing it from black and gold, and they were gonna bring back and tease back former stars or something on those lines. But they waited till the end because they didn't want it to get too hyped over it. I think that's why they didn't want it to do it.
Yeah. Cause they know it's gonna be nothing different.
It's,
Bro, I saw that clip and I saw a bunch hype about it. And I'm just like the same way you are. It's a change of a logo. Unless they're gonna change everything, it's work because unless I care about the wrestlers and the characters that you now, it doesn't change a thing. You know what I mean? If I don't
yeah,
care about the people wrestling, I'm not gonna watch. I don't give a fuck if it's black and gold, pink and red, blue and yellow. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I don't care. If I don't care about the people like good wrestlers, I can't shit on them. It's the storytelling. It's the storyline. It's good matches at NXT. I've never said that's bad wrestling. It's the storylines, and that's why I haven't watched. And I was surprised that Carmelo lost his belt on. I only saw it because of an alert that I got, and they were like, "Yo, new champion." I was like, "Get the fuck out of here!" But other than that, I would not known. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, I don't watch NXT. I would have found out on social media just scrolling. But you didn't even see the nobody was talking about that. Everybody was talking about the logo change. I was like, who gives a fuck?
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it's in a color. It didn't do nothing. It's the same. You're giving me the same product.
It's literally just the way I look at it is like
You're
Gunther is still Walter, just known as Gunther.
oh yeah,
NXT is black and gold. This new black and gold logo is the same as NXT 2.0, just a different color.
yeah,
If it's the same thing.
yeah.
There's no different. And
Did they
I
put three
think
on the bottom now? 3.0?
not, I'm glad they took away 2.0. That was I always thought like it made no sense to keep
No one
2.0.
called it NXT 2.0. And if you
It was
did,
still NXT.
if you called NXT 2.0, I want right now because that's crazy. Just call it NXT. Now you
Exactly.
could call it NXT again. But I've heard people be like, "Hey,
Was
NXT
2.0?
2.0,
Yeah.
you like it?" And it's like,
It's
don't
NXT.
just say NXT.
Yeah. For
But
real.
people wanted to let you know, no, not the old NXT, NXT 2.0,
I
but
I
still
think
just say
it's because
NXT.
I heard today that apparently they're bringing back takeovers.
Yeah,
They bring
Halloween Havoc, October
Yeah,
22nd.
I think so. I'm not sure when it is, but I heard that's the next takeover. They're
Yeah,
referring to as takeovers again, which does speculate that it could go back to black and gold. Yes, I understand that. But the only thing that I see changing besides the takeovers is maybe an improvement towards storylines. That's it.
hopefully.
That's the only thing I see improving to get people actually to watch this product is to change its. And I think Triple H does have somewhat of creative on that as well. Not saying full creative like Raw and SmackDown, but I do think that he has somewhat of a creativity on
Yeah,
this newer version of NXT now. It's I think that's gonna get people watching. I hope if it's more interesting storyline wise, because again, the characters themselves they're not doing much to make people watch. Like
yeah,
you said, these characters are just not doing it for a lot of us.
yeah.
There's some
It's
people that I can
it's
pick
not
and
even on
point.
them though. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
even on
yeah,
the people, the wrestlers.
yeah,
They're like I said, good NXT. It's just the way they're telling stories is not it.
yeah, and it's like the only thing besides that, like I kind of hope it does go back, but slowly. I think it might go back, but slowly. Like
It'll never
if
go
you
back to what it was, but it
I was gonna say like if if it were to go back, right? Then I would
well to
probably
how it
think,
used to be.
yeah, but I think the way they're gonna like, structure it now is how it was when it first started, like 2012. I'm talking about,
Yeah,
like how back then there were like a small, tiny handful of former indie stars on that roster, but
yeah,
mainly homegrown talent. Like I could probably name like at most five probably that started off elsewhere before NXT. Most of them are FCW built products. If
Yeah,
you think about it,
that's
same
very
thing
true.
here. Then I think that's going to happen now. I think right now the goal from now going back to black and gold, even though it's not really black and gold, it's just gold and white now. I think their goal is to get some of these newer talent, the one that started from 2.0, onto the main roster, and then or get ready and better for television, and then start signing in bigger and better independent wrestling names. Like back in
Maybe.
2014, remember 2014 that popped off, like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, uh, Shinsuke, Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
Yeah, all those people got signed in the same fucking year. And think that's going to eventually pop off once we see an improvement with these wrestlers, maybe in a year and a half, 2 years from now. Then start seeing all these independent names come through the company, and then build it up from there. I think that's the probably the only way to do it is by doing that because you're not just gonna just randomly bring back like an I don't know he's probably not gonna come back obviously because he's still signed to AEW. What if like Undisputed Era came back? Are you gonna put him in NXT right now? I would want them to. It'd be cool, but it's gonna overshadow everything and everyone else.
yep,
And what are you gonna do with Undisputed Era with a whole bunch of guys who just started wrestling? Nothing, right? It's gonna be not an evenly matched wrestling. They're gonna want to leave within a year again.
yeah, facts.
So why bring independent wrestlers in there if you're gonna go up against just not really that much, experienced wrestlers? Wait a
Yeah,
little bit. Give them another year and a half. Maybe a lot of these wrestlers who don't have experience will get better within the next year and a half. Then start bringing people in. That might be the plan. And
it
if
should
that's
be
the
the
plan,
plan.
it
That
should be.
should
Yeah,
be the plan.
it should be because if you don't want, like I say, you just don't want these independent wrestlers to jump in and be like, oh, they don't know how to wrestle. I don't want to get hurt and start off that way.
Yeah. Listen, when NXT, what they need to do, I think, is just get off of TV.
They should have.
They
They
should
should have.
just be Peacock exclusive. If you want to watch it, it's there.
Yeah.
Also, maybe let's not do arenas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe keep it wherever you're filming it. Maybe be at that's where everything happens.
Yeah.
Taking it on the road, maybe that's not the priority right now.
Yeah.
Because even though people are gonna buy tickets just to buy tickets, it's a waste, I think. Especially that you're growing everybody. Everybody's brand new. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's gonna be maybe two matches are highly anticipated, but the rest are just character development. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Need to start off like FCW. Like FCW was just indie fed in Florida that was under WWE. You know what I mean? And you only saw it if you lived in Florida. They had TV time. So maybe NXT just keep it on Peacock.
Yeah.
Did you also see they're taping shows now?
They're going back. They're going to the taping shows. Why?
It's cool. It's cool when you're on Peacock. When you're on
Exactly.
USA and you filming 2 or 3 weeks of television in one night, that I could just go and look up NXT spoilers and I don't have
Not
to
want to
watch
watch
your
it.
show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because you're not putting up a product like that. I remember even when they did record when they were back in Full Sail, every
Yeah.
episode was must see because then it was like, whoa, I want to see that. Right now it's
Exactly.
not that interesting that people are gonna read a spoiler or see a spoiler and say, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one of the big moments I think of off the top of my head that pissed that was announced on a pre-recorded taping, but when they announced that Nakamura signed and they did that big whole reveal in his video of him calling out Sammy, pre-taped. You saw the spoilers; it was all over social media. You know what I mean? If you
Yeah.
if you were following those type of pages, yeah, you were like, "Damn it, they should have did that live." At the same time, now you're like, "Yo, what week does this? What week does this happen?" All right, cool, because I want to watch that episode. Right now, there's
Yeah.
nothing that interesting that is gonna pull you in on a taped show. Hopefully, it changes, but right now, it's not happening.
And that's what I said before. They got to like eventually focus on getting these 2.0 stars to, you know, get them ready so that we can either send them up to the main roster or get them ready for when they start bringing back these independent stars. Because if you bring in
Yeah,
these independent stars and they don't want to go up against these unexperienced people, that's gonna not go well, most likely.
yeah. But
You're gonna
also now
want
you got
these people.
also
Go
no,
ahead,
no,
go
no,
ahead, go ahead. So
you
like
good.
you're gonna want like these people to be pleased and be like, yeah, okay, now I want to work here instead of like, oh, what do I gotta do to help this guy get better? Am I a trainer? Am I training this guy or am I
Yeah,
wrestling still?
facts,
Because
facts.
if like I said, if like a big free agent goes to NXT now, like you know he's more like, improved than no matter how old they are, they're more experienced than these NXT 2.0 stars.
Yeah, like guys
So
coming straight out of college and stuff,
yeah,
not just learning the ropes, which is
exactly.
nothing against them. Nothing
Yeah,
against them. It's just it is
you
what it
want
is when you start signing indie people, and maybe that's why they're trying to hold back on signing indie guys. And all the
until they
indie
get
guys
better.
that they
Yeah.
are signing are going straight to the main roster.
Yeah, that's why with a Gargano and a Cross and a Dexter Loomis, they're already experienced. They're veterans in the game. Way before 2.0 was a thing.
Yeah,
Way before they got their time. So it's like makes sense. Put them in the main roster. Like someone
no,
like
it's
an
a
Adam
fact.
Cole in Undisputed Era, send them to the main roster if they end up coming back. Like just don't focus on like bringing them to the main roster or to NXT and be like, oh, they're they need help wrestling. No, they're not a coach. They're wrestlers themselves. So until they
Exactly.
get better, until they focus more on developing their wrestling abilities, then they can start bringing people back, which may take a while. But that's why I don't hope anything to change right now or next week, because again, it's not going to happen anytime soon. That whole
Not yeah,
going back to black and gold thing.
not yeah. The it's like we said at the beginning. It's just a change of logo. Not take it too seriously. I think people blew it out of proportion when it
Yeah,
happened, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like can't really. I don't think anything. Like you said, it's gonna take a while. Same way with 2.0. Think 2.0 is kind of picking up speed, kind of,
a
but
little
not
bit.
really.
Yeah, yeah,
But now, even it looks like Escobar's on his way out. Solo's gonna be on both shows. Those are the people I
yeah,
care about on that show, and they're gone.
yeah. I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
you gotta make us care about that. Like, I agree with you. Like,
yeah,
slowly everyone's gonna go back up, and then it's gonna be like, who's left for me to care about? I don't really care about a lot of these people.
exactly. I
Make us
told
care.
the three guys: Escobar, Carmelo, and Solo. And two of the three are on their way out, I think. And Solo's gonna be back and forth now, I guess.
Yeah.
That was
I mean,
random that he showed up and won the title. I was like, that's weird.
yeah. He's back and forth. So it's like, might as well just, you know, what are they gonna do? What if they call up Toxic Attraction and Brock Breaker? Who's there to carry that company? No one. So
Yeah,
until they find those people who could take their place, like we've talked about many episodes ago, back when it was black and gold, whenever someone got called up, there was like at least five people who we could say that they would take the company's place again
taking
as a
on.
top guy.
Yeah, yeah. That was that. The
But then
roster was just
if
stacked. That's what it
and
was.
again, I think that's the reason why they had Solo Sikoa. So when Carmelo Hayes goes up to the main roster, you have someone kind of helping with their mid card division.
Yeah, I
Because who else
do
are you gonna
want.
get that spot to? Nobody.
Yeah, not right now.
Yeah,
I think Carmelo's dope. I kind of don't want him to go to the main roster because I feel doing his thing on NXT. I think I don't know what they're gonna do with him up there. Things
yeah, I don't.
again that I'm just like, I don't know. Escobar, I don't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, he got his little faction, but is he gonna be like Hit Row, just matches on SmackDown? I mean, I don't really care for Hit Row, but I feel like that's
yeah,
is that what you're getting called up for? You know what I mean? Like kind of like when I said with Gargano, when Gargano signed, it's a cool moment. It's cool that he's back in WWE, but like, what's the plan? Do we got a plan for him, or are we just doing this just to do it?
yeah. Are you just giving him a job, or you actually have something for him to be like, okay,
Exactly.
in
So like
this
it's
amount of time, we're gonna win this amount of matches and go here. But
yeah.
as long
So
as
it's
they
like
have,
kind of like Carmelo. Like, are you getting just because you've been in NXT for a while and you've been their top guy, and that's coming from the North American champion? You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
looked at him as the guy. I'm Breaker's cool, but like I don't know, man. Still
He's not.
not
He's not. I
big
don't
breaker
think
guy.
he's. I think he'll be great in WWE in the near future for sure. But I think he
Right
needs
now,
more
he's
development. He needs more
yeah,
development. He needs to be in there a little bit longer. He shouldn't be rushed. Like I'm afraid that once he loses that title, he's gonna go straight
he's
to the main
getting
roster. And like
called up.
that shouldn't happen. Give him matches against these. The reason why I don't want him, the reason why I say that is because I want to see how he's going to wrestle, not with the championship. Because for all we
What?
know,
Yeah,
he's the world champion, and once he gets, he's good with the championship. He's defending it every time he has. He's killing it in the ring. But can he carry a feud that's not for the title? That's the thing that's kind of like
exactly.
going through my head. If he can't do that, if he needs a title to be relevant, that's kind of an issue. Make him relevant without the championship. Let him do his thing without the title.
Yep,
There's many people out there he can feud with. You know, just let's see what he can do without the title, and let's
exactly.
see what they can go with. So they shouldn't call him up immediately.
Give him some
Just
time.
yeah,
They should not put the title on him that fast. They were just trying to change it quick, and it bit them in the ass. Because, like you said, once he loses the title, most likely he's getting called up. But it would be dope to see him stay there. But then does that fuck him up? You know what I mean? Like, does
yeah.
that kind of devalue him now that he's just chilling in NXT, being a former champion? He's not even in title picture.
I mean, I don't think it'll devalue him as long as he gets put into like kind of like the top against the top guys. And now
Yeah.
that takeovers are back, I hope that they're treated like takeovers instead of like I hope they make it a big ass deal, make it to a
Oh, you
big ass
want like a
match.
big thing?
Yeah, I wanted to make it like how big of a deal because I felt like with pay per views for 2.0, it just felt like a regular episode of
Yeah.
even
Well,
if it happened on Saturday or
because
Sundays.
because there was nothing
Exactly. They gotta make it a
about it that was a big deal.
they
So
gotta
you
make it a
can't make
big deal
something a
then.
big deal if it's not a big deal.
Exactly. That's
You know what
why
I
I
mean? So they
think
got to
I
build it up to make it a big deal, and
yeah.
then
Let's see how it does. I mean, again, we said this when 2.0 became a thing. Let's see how many
and we
months he
gave it
can.
a year, and now
Yeah.
it's changing
So I don't know.
because we
We
know
gotta
our
just wait
shit,
and see.
man. Can't just change shit on thing. Shit's gonna change.
I think
You
next
had
year's gonna go
like
to different colors. It'll be black and white, and it'll be fucking. What other colors can they use? Red and
black.
blue. And,
I was gonna say red and black. Well, okay, why not?
yeah,
Just change up the whole color scheme. That means we're changing when we change the colors. We're changing as a company.
yeah. I
But
mean, it's because
that was crazy when I saw that logo. I was like, this they're really trying it.
it looks cleaner, and I'm glad they got rid of 2.0. It's just NXT. I'm happy for that because it could just still been NXT 2.0 with black and gold or white, whatever.
Yeah.
White and
I mean
gold and white.
they can't go with it. It'll never be like that again.
Yeah,
Like we said, give it some years, maybe it will. But that era was just different. It
it
was
hit
just a
different.
different
Yeah,
era.
like I'm standing by what I'm saying about it. It's just I just think that
Nah, and I hope
that's what's
so.
gonna happen. Yeah,
How it turns out.
yeah.
Because come on, man, why would we be wanting anything negative from them? Positive shit. We want to watch good
Exactly.
shit,
We want to watch
man.
good. Exactly. And again, if
Yeah,
they're bringing back the word takeover for their events, something must be changing in that aspect. I
but they
just think
haven't. I feel like it's been takeover.
they
I feel
haven't. They
like they've
took
been
away
calling
takeover.
it takeover.
Hmm. They
It's just
haven't.
been called the
I
name, like
thought that too.
NX,
Yeah,
like
because I thought that too. I
Halloween
thought they
Havoc
were
has just been Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc was I think a episode of NXT last year. It
Yeah, I
wasn't like a
remember
pay
it
per
was
view.
a episode, but it wasn't called
They haven't
Takeover.
like War Games. I think that was a last. That might have been a takeover, but I think everyone after that was just a regular NXT.
Got you.
The one they did before Mania was I think just NXT Stand and Deliver. Um,
Okay,
what else did
got
they
you.
do? I don't remember any other. The one they did before Clash at the Castle that was just NXT Worlds Collide.
You're right.
And
Yeah, it was
and
over.
and I'm tight. That show did it? I thought that was gonna take place at fucking the UK. Was it just me or was that supposed to be in the UK?
Nah, that shit was in Florida, homie.
Yeah, but wasn't the whole point to make it in the UK during that
It
weekend,
it
or was
would
it
have been
not?
a cool idea. Would have been a cool idea, but nah.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. Like it was supposed
Yeah,
to be in the UK, but now they did
that
it in
that's
Orlando.
what. Yeah, that's what I thought until when was it? When they played the commercial, like right before Clash started, they played like a hype up video and they were like live from Florida.
Damn, I didn't even watch that one. I think we were still recording the all that one, but yeah, yeah, I thought it was gonna be in fucking the UK at least, make that special. But
Would have been cool, but it didn't. And now they got all those UK superstars over there chilling because
yeah, I
half of
mean,
their roster got
released. But I think everyone got released. I think the ones that we're seeing in NXT right now, are the only ones that didn't
that.
get released.
Yeah, because the UK got hit hard with the
The pandemic.
yeah, but like they that whole like internet thing that happened when the pandemic, the Me Too,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
and all the in
yeah,
wrestling, a lot of UK guys got hit with it. And a lot of them went slowly getting released,
yeah.
and that's why
I
they're
think
all so small. And I think that's why they combined it because they were like, all right, let's just start NXT. Like, let's just call it NXT Europe and start from scratch
yeah, they're probably
because
gonna
half
sign
of
like
our
other people.
guys, yeah, and good for them. Get some new talent in there. That was the whole plan. I remember that picture of Triple H in front of a map, and it's just black and gold, like
Yeah, yeah, I saw that.
on the borders, and it's just like U.S., Europe. There was supposed to be an Asian one. There was to be a South America NXT. Hopefully that shit happens. I think that would be cool. Then you could really do a Worlds Collide pay per view and call that shit.
That would
That
be
shit would be
exciting.
fucking lit.
There was supposed to be one in Canada. That would be cool if they did one in
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah.
And then, yeah, I think that would be dope if they did something like that. Like,
And you
don't even,
could,
they could sign people, of course, like maybe re-sign some of the ones they released or some independent talent that they don't really, people don't know of over there. Like
yeah,
younger guys that are still getting their feet wet in the wrestling business, but
yeah,
then also create their own guys. Maybe
exactly.
what if they had tryouts before, Clash at the Castle that we don't know of, that they didn't advertise purposely because of this.
Facts.
And they could have signed people that had no wrestling experience that they're going to use for NXT Europe.
And Europe, yeah,
So that could be something. I
because
mean,
they had trials before SummerSlam, right? In Tennessee.
they do it. They usually do it before their big pay per views. Like they always do it for Mania,
Yeah.
SummerSlam. I think there's only two, but that's
Okay.
the first.
Yeah. Why
That's
not
the
do it in the UK? Like, come on,
first
man.
one they've done in 30 years. Might
Especially
do it.
that, like, what I read, they're trying to do it annually.
Yeah,
Maybe that's your end, and then you have the NXT Europe takeover the day before or the day after, but have it in the UK.
yeah, that could be their. Or
Because
if
every
they
time
do it.
NXT UK had a takeover, super random. It never felt like on a pay per view weekend.
It no, let me tell you this though. It was never on a pay-per-view because they never did one in the UK before. So I understand
Wait a
why.
minute.
So the UK, whenever they did takeovers,
No, but I'm
kind of
saying
had to be random. I felt like because when else are you gonna do? You're gonna wait till they go to the UK to do one right before.
nah,
They're
but
gonna
at
do it
least
at some point.
you could have put it like WrestleMania weekend. You give me 3 shows and keep them in the UK. They don't gotta be in a you know what I mean? Week
Yeah,
in a row. Maybe you alternate. You could have alternated NXT, then NXT, then the next the pay per view after that NXT UK. You know what I mean? So that
yeah.
you the takeovers and you make NXT UK relevant
Like
because
what I
their
would do.
takeovers were ridiculous.
Oh yes, I was
Takeovers
gonna
were
say.
dope as hell.
Yeah, because
People
I was gonna.
sleep people sleep on them because they didn't follow them like that. But if you haven't, check out NXT UK takeovers. Ridiculous.
Yeah, you don't
I
have
always
to. Like,
remember the one where United Undisputed Era
that was Worlds
attacked
Collide. Yeah, that
the
was
one
the
right
last
that
show.
was leading up. Yeah, that was like that was when we found out Worlds Collide pay per view was
I
gonna
think that
happen.
was early 2020. That was at the first the Blackpool one they did in 2020, and I think that led up to the Worlds Collide that year. And then right after that, it
Yeah,
was just the pandemic.
yeah.
And then yeah, I was gonna say to bounce off that, like I think people should go back to the. It's on the Peacock network. It's still on there.
It's on the
Go
cock.
back.
It's there.
Yeah, it's on the cock. You don't have to follow them. You don't have to know any of the wrestlers or know what was going on. Just watch it. It was different. What
Yeah.
that's how like, the Clash of the Castle, that crowd, the same energy with those takeovers. It
and in
was
a smaller
amazing.
arena.
Yeah, it was a small arena and not that many people. And the thing is, with the UK NXT UK, I was like watching that religiously before the pandemic. It kind of
Yeah,
fell off a little bit because they didn't really have much to work with. I understand that. I'm not trying to shit on it,
they
but
had
like
yeah they got
they
hit
have
hard.
great shows. They have passionate fans. They had great storyline before the pandemic. I think a lot of people they're just using the same people every single week. That's what I felt
Because
like
what
since the
what
pandemic.
happened? What after when the pandemic was happening?
Hmm.
Well, what happened was a lot of them are from the UK, but like in different areas, and
Yeah,
they shut down travel. So a lot of them was stuck and couldn't get to wherever they NXT
yeah,
UK. So whoever lived in the area was who they featured,
and
and
I
that's
think
why it felt like
now,
such a small roster.
yeah, I think now that it's called Europe, I think they're gonna start traveling over there. I think so.
So
Makes
fire.
sense, right? It doesn't make sense to have it in one
Yeah,
place if it's called Europe.
yeah.
Because it was called NXT UK, and when after the pandemic, I think the studio they were using was in the UK, so it made
Okay.
sense that way.
Yeah,
But it's called, if you can call it Europe travel. I mean,
yeah.
that's why I don't
Maybe those are the
understand why.
takeovers.
Yeah, I think that's when they're gonna
You
start
do
using, because they
takeover
haven't done
Dublin,
they
takeover.
haven't
You know what I mean?
they haven't done a takeover since the pandemic yet. They were gonna do
That
one,
was yeah. It got
they were gonna
canceled. It
do
was
one
the
in
last one
Ireland.
was the one before Worlds
The one
Collide,
where,
right?
yeah, the one where you just said before, the Undisputed Era
Yeah,
tag
that
team.
Walter defended his belt. I forgot who he
I think
fought.
it was Pete Dunne. I think it
And
might have been Pete
then
Dunne.
was it Pete Dunne? And then right after which was a cool ass moment. If you missed that live, that was dope.
Yeah. But then, yeah, I
That
think
was so
now
dope.
I think they might do the same thing where like just use a studio as like the every weekly thing like NXT is
Yeah,
doing
and
right
then
now,
I think that's what
and
NXT should do.
takeovers.
And then maybe if you want takeovers, do it. But takeovers, I still think not a big ass arena. Don't do
Yeah,
the MSGs and Barclays. Give me a Hammerstein ballroom. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Give me a smaller venue that you
They,
know you're gonna pack out and you're gonna get passionate fans.
after Halloween Havoc, every takeover from then on out should be elsewhere. Because I've said this before when it was still black and gold before 2.0 was the thing. I'm sick and tired of seeing the same arena every fucking takeover. Give me something different. Give me like a Hammerstein
Facts.
ballroom. Give
Yeah.
me the fucking, because it just feels like I'm as great as the takeovers were during the pandemic era from 2020 and 2021. I do not want to see that same arena every single fucking time. Because
Yeah.
takeovers before the pandemic hit different, mainly because of the energy of the arena and where it was taking place. It made it special. But if I'm
Yep.
watching fucking 20 people cheering somebody on, I'm gonna get bored as fuck eventually. So
Exactly. Yeah. That's a fact.
After Halloween Havoc, go somewhere else. Leave Florida. Get out the comfort zone. I want to watch an NXT takeover. I have not been to one at all. There's been 3 or 4 Brooklyn shows. I have not been to a single one of them, and I want to so badly. Come to
Yo,
New York. Go to
they were
somewhere
fucking
else.
lit. They were
And I've missed out because I'm like, I wanted to go to one. The pandemic unfortunately hit, and now it's like,
yeah.
fuck, just come back already. Come back, do some smaller
Yeah.
venue, and I'll go to that one and like do somewhere in
I
different places.
great takeover they had was Mania, right? Mania 21, where they did 2 nights.
What, 21? Uh, yeah, they did.
2021.
Yes, yes, they did
The
two
one
takeovers.
with Escobar and Devlin. That was the one with that was
Yeah,
that yeah the 2 night special, right?
yeah, it was last year's. Yes, I remember that.
I
They
think
did.
that was the last like great takeover they
Yeah,
had, and then after that was just like
next year I hope they do
product
a
just went
takeover.
down.
They should do a takeover the weekend before Mania next year, and have that be in LA,
It's
not in the fucking performance center.
yeah.
That could do something. You know what I mean?
I think you take a I think you take an idea from an indie company that's out there and you do smaller venues like they do, pack it out with passionate fans, and then your product will be more attractive to people from the outside looking.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like look at the way GCW's packing out shows,
yeah,
right? Packing them out. It just so happens that they also have great fucking wrestling, a great roster. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And not even have that much. You gotta follow them on. This is coming from somebody that now You have 2 hours on say every week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You could do the smaller arenas and sell that shit like that, especially if you have a. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. What we doing? I don't know
They
how
could.
NXT ever fell off. They just what happened was I always say it. They tried too much to compete. They started doing the skits. Shit started getting corny, and they fucked it up for themselves.
Yeah.
But now,
And
like
they
we
got.
said, maybe it's on the way up. Carmelo
Yeah.
was the guy. He might be out of here, so hopefully Solo takes over till Breaker really comes into his own, and then should be full steam ahead. And you keep on building the roster up.
Exactly. Like I think they should focus, especially this next 12 months. Focus on developing these people, not character wise, but wrestling wise. Get them better at wrestling, so we can all. And their matches are still great regardless, but
Matches are great right now.
yeah,
Now the story to intertwine with it, and then it'll be an incredible match because then there's a story behind it and there's a reason they're fighting.
yeah,
It's not just hey, I'm Italian, Spanish, our factions are gonna feud.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I felt
yeah.
like that was the thing with and what's his name? Oh my god, the Italian dude.
Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, I feel like that was the whole line. It wasn't even like anything that happened. It was just that we're Italian. Y'all
Yeah,
Spanish. I'm trying to this girl. We don't like each other. So let's feud. It
yeah,
wasn't really like a story behind it. It was just sometimes it works, and that time it worked a little bit because I was kind of interested, but not
yeah,
interested enough that I was gonna watch that shit live. I was
yeah,
keeping up with it on socials. Yeah.
yeah. I know what you mean.
So maybe they're on the way up. We just gotta wait and see, man.
I hope.
And
I
then
hope.
for AEW, we'll see what happens. I think right now they're doing without for the last 2 weeks without having any of them on TV and you're still putting out good content, good product. I think we're chilling.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
also, Tony, homegrown talent, baby. Homegrown talent.
If next Wednesday night
It's
we
gotta
don't
what
see the acclaimed win the titles, I might storm the ring. You might see me
I'm
headlining pay per views
I
on the
yeah,
news sites.
I might throw up. I might throw up if they don't win. Listen,
Yeah,
what I think happened at All Out was there are a lot of people that are big on the acclaimed, right? There's a lot of people that are big on them. There's also a lot of people that aren't sold on the acclaim being a legit tag team. I think the match at All Out wasn't supposed to convince people 100%, but convince them that they could hold their own in the ring,
yeah,
especially being like such a tag team that's not a lot of spots. It's a lot of just wrestling, and I
yeah,
like that. It's something different. It's not fucking Lucha Bros throwing themselves across the ring. It's not the Young Bucks doing super kicks.
yeah,
It's rest holds and punches. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. They
and
fought. They fucking fought.
yeah. So I think it was more on to sell the people that weren't sold on them yet to at least
Yeah,
more. I think at Grand Slam they're gonna win. Listen, if they win, they're gonna get the American Alpha at Takeover Dallas pop.
oh yes,
Do you
of
remember that
course.
pop?
Yes, I
Pop
remember that pop.
that's
Yeah.
the pop that they will get if they win at Grand Slam.
Oh man, that
And I
would be
think that was
so excited.
long. I think that was the plan all along.
I
But we'll
think so.
have
Yeah.
to wait and see and then give our experiences next week
Oh
after we
yeah, of
go.
course, of course. We got. I think what I might do. We're gonna be together. I'm gonna record the match, us our reactions, and probably
Yeah.
post it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm probably gonna
Let's
record
do it.
this. Yeah, and then probably see like you'll realize how happy we are once they win it. If they win it, I better swear.
Yo, it's gonna be. They're gonna win it, bro. It has to
Yeah,
be.
they're gonna win it. They're gonna
I
win
know
it. I
someone
trust.
and
Trust.
some. I went to this. Went to a bar last weekend. Saw my boy has the acclaimed hat. I say that's a dope hat. My son said, "Scissor me." I scissored some bar. To scissor somebody at a bar, the team has to be over. You gotta give them the
And it was a
benefit.
random
You
stranger, right?
gotta give them the. Oh no, it was my boy. It was my boy.
Oh,
But
it was a
then
boy. Sorry. Yeah.
someone else asked him about the hat, and the guy said I won't do it in public, but Sesame Daddy. And I was like, this fucking guy. Everybody's in
Yo,
on it. Everyone loves the Acclaimed.
claimed, yes. And this, we scissored ourselves virtually last time. That's how fucking
Facts.
big deal.
First
We did it
podcast to
virtually.
do it.
The first, yeah,
First
exactly,
podcast to do it.
exactly.
Which
And we don't even get the credit for that. But yeah, yeah. Um, guess we just
but
wrap it
yeah.
up there. There's not much else to say
Yeah.
on those topics. Thanks for everyone for tuning into this episode 89. Last week was our 2 year. Last Friday was 2 years since we started the podcast.
Yes, sir. Two
Shout out to everyone.
years.
2 years and more to come. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on all our platforms: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, literally everywhere. Find
You know
us,
the vibe.
follow, and yeah, we'll see you guys next time. I'm Nick. This is Joel, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Gotcha.